Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time. Primways, attorney, Miles Edgeworth, investigations, and I figured out what the thing is. I think it's this. She says he uses left hand, he's right-handed. Present. Yeah, we got it. Alright. Woohoo! I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Huh? Then? The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went right down like that? Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with the smugness. Out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier. There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with a $1 million in it. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its head. But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet the Bad Badger had both his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. It wasn't Bad Badger. Like, these are like, no, it's a Bad Badger. Miss Pops, what you saw was not the Bad Badger. Think back and recall which character was it that leveled a gun at you. Was wearing a pair of sunglasses and had that strange blue beard. That sums up the Bad Badger pretty well, I'd say. Too bad for you, but it looks like the Bad Badger wasn't the mistake here. Oh, alright. I need to think carefully about the facts here. Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, so then both are correct. Because of the suit missing the hand, then. Fine, both are correct. They are both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands. What proves it? I don't know what proves it. Ah, balls. Had the beard and sunglasses. Check this. Let's go with this. Get your head on straight, Mr. Prosecutor. That doesn't show me diddly squat. I knew it. What I saw was just a mirage. Wait, I can explain. Miss Pops said that. Okay, alright. But the Bad Badger costume has a metal gun attached to its right hand, which is what created this contradiction about which hand he did what. The fact that she saw sunglasses and beard. What if the Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? I don't understand what we're going for here. Scum save. I'm kind of almost out of HP here, so scum save. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, so... why did I triple save there? Okay. Missing gun model? No, that ain't it. This? No. The head? How? Okay, I'm confused. The costumes have two parts to them, a head and a body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the bad badger. However, it's not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger. Is it not possible? A different badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the bad badger Miss Pops saw really belonged to this badger. The blue badger. His head may have been the bad badger, but his body was the blue badger's. The blue badger? Hold on, let's see here. Who was it that had one of these on? I did. And so did Officer Meekins, pal. Nice try, but your logic's just a tad illogical. Officer Meekins has been arrested and placed under arrest, after all. Wait! I meant the proto-badger! I like to strike what I just said from the record and give my explanation anew. So the proto-badger then, alright. What the heck is it? It's the proto-badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops is wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is one of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto-badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto-badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the bad badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon. On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed a murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. Alright, my voice was bad there. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh? There's but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What? No. That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Why would you admit to being left-handed? Huh. Who was one-handed doesn't prove a thing. Yeah. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto-badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. They're going with the blank. We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. There it is. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? What? There you go. Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. Or was he gonna say no? I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. You saw the victim in the state of being restrained? what Miss Pops saw. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the next room. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. Who was in the next room? So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Oh, I know the answer to that question. We were in that room! Now, how do we prove that? Let me see what's in our presents. So, like this, maybe? Like, we were in that room. There's no way we... Okay. Press. When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout? It was after we had picked up the ransom money. And where were you until the time you returned? I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best route. Ah, so each of them had their own rules to play. After I was done, I went back to the hideout. By that time... She didn't see him, she just heard him. How did Lance look at that time? He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes, Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like? There we go, that's the thing. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Batch's head on it, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon. You saw a Bad Batch's head? There it is. Let's just do the rest of the pressing just more. The captain had a Bad Batch's head on, so it was absolutely, I'm absolutely sure, with Mr. Deacon. Press it. So the tied-up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume? Yes, and? It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Yeah. The person you saw was not the victim. What? Why not? I would tell you why not. With this. This Miss Pop shows us that the person you saw was not the victim. There we go. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. Me. It was me. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken their $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's... You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a Bad Badger's head on her, and then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended. Huh? What do you mean by he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the Bad Badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot of come out of you. But I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and the subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right. Yeah, you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Why do you know that? Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. I really have no idea if it was you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see? You have seen that you can't prove a thing. Is it Kay? Who said that? Oh, the father. Please wait. Mr. Amano? Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving to your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad? Let's see, you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Is that what I think it is? Oh, there's guns everywhere, alright. It's the bad Badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun! I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. A bit of a Deus Ex, isn't it? It appears that they were disposed of in the sea. Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There. Now, Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit. It says... What? The Chief of Police? What the... Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. There. Now. There is no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with to conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. Woo! What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? I'll be the judge of that. Alright, what are we gonna find? I guess we're gonna look at the gun. Look at the gun. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Alright. This bullet hole. It looks like kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. That means he did it up close. Why is that? No, why is that? Because it's proof that the victim shot at point-blank range. Yep. Soggy-ass suit. Okay, so look at the organizer. Look at the revolver. They found Miss Pop's fingerprints on this gun? Can you let me hold it for a sec? I shouldn't if you don't know how to handle it. Besides, Miss Pop's prints are on it. Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. Not like I'm going to run off with it. The only things I don't return are treasures. Stealing either one would land you in jail, you know. How many bullets are in here? Can we see how many bullets there are? Because if they're all in there, we don't have to worry about that. Staring down the barrel of a gun, son of a gun. I guess that's it. Alright. Obviously I'm missing something if I can't stop looking at this. Oh, the hole. There we go. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume's head. Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're pretty valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in there? Oh, the mirror! Mirror fragments. Why are there fragments in there? Well, are these not the most definitive piece of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Is it? Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murder scum. And they prove that it was Lally who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lally's life. So Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lally was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lally. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes this punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me even in the face of all this evidence? Because, boy, you suck. Okay, here we go. I had no line. Oh. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Don't raise an objection. Perhaps I should wait and see how this pans out first. You sure are calm for someone who is accusing his own girlfriend of murder. You sure have her all wrong. Allowing her to pay the price is a form of love. He says that she also wants to pay back her debt to society, but... And why do you believe that the victim was set on taking Miss Pop's life? I suppose it's because he wanted to silence her. To keep her quiet, because she knows the truth behind the kidnapping. In that case, why did he not target you as well? That's because, because he knew that if he killed me, he wouldn't be able to control my father. Right you are. Even if it cost me millions, I would have had the killer found. I believe he didn't kill you for an entirely different reason, however I digress. Look no more than why he didn't kill me. I'm worried about what'll happen to Lally. Justified self-defense? I suppose that is a possibility, given the circumstances. Really? Oh, thank goodness. However, self-defense was not necessary in this case. What do you mean? Miss Pops is innocent. She didn't do anything, so why would she need to defend herself from nothing? You still don't believe a word I say, do you? His entire argument hinges on the fact that her fingerprints are on the gun. However, the truth does not lie there. It lies in whatever he is hiding from me, but not for long. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Fingerprints. Was also misunderstood leaving his self-defense. These were found inside the costume. Why were they there in the first place? Alright, let's scum save. I have no HP. Let's go and raise an object and see what happens. Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pop's prints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pop's prints should not be on that gun is... the costume, I assume? Let's try it. It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake! We found fingerprints! Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all and at any time? Ah, yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose? And there you have it. That is when Miss Pop's prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No way, I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. The glass? Scum save. This piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not in fact the stadium. Mr. Prosecutor, I'd have to rate that piece of logic a 0 out of 10. 0? It's at least a 6.8 out of 10. And then we lose. Look, we all know that you're just chasing your delusions, so let's stop wasting time, alright? You want to suspect me, Mr. Edgeworth, but you haven't got a single shred of evidence. Ooh. No. I say we let the courts resolve the rest. A few days later, Lance was acquitted of all charges due to lack of evidence. Thus the truth was lost for all eternity. That's if you fail. That means they have just different spots where if you fail, what happens there, right? Alright, costume it is. Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. Alright, there. This is the part of the costume that proves it. The gun hole. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Oldberg saw at the stadium really was? Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ah! Look at you, Mr. Sparty Pants, prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is, then? Time for the glass. Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at, just before I was imprisoned, was... I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here. They did the haunted house to trick you, or not? Scumsy. Or he took the mirror with him, which would be, alright, do it. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? Glass. These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there's one place I can think of where there's a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lansamano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with a revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badger Mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger Mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more! I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you! I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Gina, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there? But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Lang Shi says, on True's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up. I don't have any evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house. Then I can prove Lance's guilt in a connection to the murder. But now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah. I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. I know, why are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena. I'm here. Put in the paperwork for their authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Hold it! Who was that? No. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena! It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed? Read it out loud. Gatewater Land Inc. hereby agrees the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash. What? As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you? I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That's $1 million you paid? Don't tell me it was. Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him after all. He did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. Ugh. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Well played. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I lose my temper. Oh, Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued? I thought we were going to end right there. Holy balls! Yeah, let's go a little bit longer. Because I want to know what the hell now. What are we supposed to do? We can't get into the haunted house without breaking in. I really thought that was the end. We got more? March 13, 4:27 p.m. Gatewater Land Main Gate. Alright. I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it! Okay. Miss Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this. And what is that? When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. For I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu. But I thought you were a thief, not a hero. Yatagarasu is noble and is always a thief of justice. That's it, of course. They're gonna recreate it using her hologram? Alright. I guess that's the way to go. Well, we have enough information. I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Because I'm Tony Stark. What the hell even? Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony, you can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. We may be able to figure out with some new information through this. Is worth a try. Agent Lang? So you want to use your little toy. Be my guest. Okay, hang on. We're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Detective Gumshoe? Is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprint among the police's reference documents? Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. Finally, some usefulness. Alright, I'll input the haunted house data then. She's just crying the whole time. Water. What is this? Where are we? It's like we're inside a haunted house. If we can inspect the real location itself, the path to the truth slumbers here. I can successfully navigate my way using logic, ultimately arrive at the truth. How is any of this admissible? Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene. Investigation start? Alright. Okay, so what should I recreate first? You haven't figured it out yet? Hey, maybe I haven't, maybe I haven't. But I'm going to make you do all the hard work. Very well, I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. I can verify that. It may provide me with a new lead. I had just come out of the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. And at that time, I saw a badger slumped over in the floor at the end of the hall. Eh? What was a badger doing all the way down there? I also thought it was strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere. You know which badger it was? No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette. In that case, I guess I'll just program a badger silhouette for now. Good, okay, programming complete. Badger, 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 badger. Then I started walking towards the exit. And that's when you were struck from behind, right? Yes. But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where did your assailant come from? There's only one location I can think of. I believe my assailant was lying in wait here. Scum save? I have no HP. That doll I saw wasn't really a doll, it was in fact a costumed kidnapper. Oh, so he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house. Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I can think of no better hiding place than this. Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself. Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay? There's the sword. There's the sword! Well, Lance? What? What are you asking me for? As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first. I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money. You didn't set foot inside? Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? Alright then, you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me? Yes, I'm sure it was him. Okay, input in the info now. Mr. Deacon was the Bad Badger, right? Since the Bad Badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I have to change it so the weapon is in his left hand. And who's left-handed? And who's left-handed? Now to verify the facts of this recreation. Begin investigation. Oh, okay, now we're gonna investigate. Alright, so next time we do the investigation. There's the sword. That's gonna be key. Can I look in the mirror? Okay. Let's just do a little bit. When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors. Indeed. Who's ever heard of this many mirrors inside of a haunted house before? Well, at least we know this is the real crime scene, thanks to these mirror shards. Oh, we gotta do some logicking? Alright. Hey, wait, these shards, there's something different about them. Oh? The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on this wall. And look, there's some sort of design on the back, too. The pieces from that costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors? This means it probably was the mirror inside that room. Examine. I remember glancing over and seeing this figure sitting here as I left the dining room. I guess it's spot on when I put it here in my recreation. I didn't take a good look, but I'm sure there was a badger here. There's the sword. I imagine this is how he snuck up on you. That gadget of yours can even replicate people's movements. Well, it's used to plain heist, so of course it's got to be able to simulate the police. It's definitely very well made. Perhaps too well made. Maybe we should confiscate it after the investigation. If she's helping you, it's kind of mean to do that. Pieces of a set of armor are in a pile here. Why do you think they almost always have sets of armor inside haunted houses? I suppose this sort of interior design is meant to bring out the sense of abnormalcy. Why do our explanations have to be so hard to understand, Mr. Edgeworth? I'll try explaining again, so this time so that even a thief like me can get it. Thief may prove to be a most difficult task. I wanted it to be about the sword, but apparently we can't figure out the sword yet. Like, there's the sword that got used for the door. It's right there. Another mirror. Don't talk to anyone yet. Dr. K. Yes? Notice anything? Hey, how is, Little Thief? Totally fun recreating the crime scene. All that's left is more info. Well, you know, I can't believe I'm replicating a haunted house. And that we're talking about the fate of $1 million is pretty exciting stuff. I can't say I understand what is so exciting about recreating a crime scene. In any case, I believe that it is very probable that the murder occurred at this place. And if I can prove that, then we will finally arrive at the truth. Yeah, so what are you waiting for? Let's get investigating. Let's talk to everyone, I guess. Miss Amano? Miss Pops, by my hand, I will prove your innocence in the murder of Mr. Deacon. Therefore, please don't fret. It will soon be over. Do you not trust me? No, that is, Your face is all beat red, Miss Pops. No, we can't. I have Lance. Lily, don't tell me that you like that guy more than me. That's... Oh, why am I so pathetic? I'm so easily swayed by even a single glance. What exactly is she going on about? I think you have another guilty person on your hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Dr. Amano. Miles, my boy, what is the meaning of all this? You plan to pay me back for all I've done for you with the conviction of my son. I've not forgotten my debt to you, however your son's crimes are a separate matter. Father, I can't ignore the truth when it's right before me. You will regret this, I promise you that. No matter the outcome, I will never regret the choices I make. You can lie all you want, but it will be all bald for naught, Lance. As soon as I expose the truth, you'll be placed under arrest. How can you do this? After all my dad has done for you. What your father has done for me is unrelated to the charges you face now. Unbelievable. You know, you sound kind of like a bully right now, Mr. Edgeworth. If I'm not serious about this, he will never understand the true gravity of his crimes. I will not allow him to remain a child forever. Now you sound like a dad. Okay, alright. Like, I get it. Relative justice, or honor, would make Edgeworth want to just keep this line, because then she gets off, hopefully. But he gets to get off with a murder. That's horrible. And it's a debt paid to him, but come on, talk. I can't believe what I'm seeing, sir. The space that I'm standing in, it's like out of some crazy dream. Except that it isn't a dream. This is something Kay's gadget. No, wait, this is exactly like a dream, sir. I've never been so impressed. It's a miracle. Someone sure is easily impressed. I'm so glad you like it. Oh, so this is a product of your gadget? I wish I had one too. Well, once this is over, I'll let you play with it for a bit if you want. You do that for me, pal? Thanks. Alright, let's wrap this case up already. It's times like these that I wonder if they understand the seriousness of the situation. He's like, I've seen a lot of murders. Thanks for letting us use, Little Thief. Ling Shi says, reject not those who seek the truth. So keep in mind that I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing this for the truth. Don't worry, I understand. We may have different methods, but our wish is the same. Take him the dick. Okay, talk to Shina. Well, have you noticed anything worthwhile? I have no obligation to talk with you. Well, I'm fine with just Little Thief in solving this case. That toy, it's very well made. Haha! That's because it's the heart of the noble thief Yatagarasu. Okay, that may not be something you want to advertise to everyone. So Shina, what exactly is the source of this extra-dimensional like space? I believe this is nothing more than a projection from that girl's toy. So it's all an illusion, right? Yes. Hey, don't treat this like some sort of silly light show. Alright. Looking at me? It's a replica of myself. You were totally oblivious to what was behind you, huh? Yes, I suppose I am also to blame for what happened to me. It was incredibly dark, which was all the more reason I should have been more alert. I thought I'd never be caught by surprise again. Sure. There we go. We'll stop right here, I guess. You didn't recreate the weapon. Well, I can't exactly recreate something I don't know anything about. So tell me, what were you hit with? The attack came from behind, so I have no idea, but I doubt it was someone's bare hands. Okay, then where were you hit? I was hit on the right side of my head. Right side? So it would require like hitting like this, but if you had the right one, you could just hit like that. Right? No, we just go bonk. I guess you would do it like this if you're left-handed, which guess who's left-handed, right? I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious. Ouch, sounds painful. Why are you smirking like that when you say it? It's just your imagination. Now let's see. Wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. I'm looking for something the cover could have used to hit you with. Okay, we'll stop it there. We know it's the sword, so we'll stop there. Next time, we continue from this spot. So that right there is the game for now. I have fun, a little bit of fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. Honestly, only a rich guy like Ernest Amano could be like, knowing that his son is the killer, and be mad at someone for wanting to finger his son. Like, seriously. Seriously. Like, he's gotta finger his boy. That's just how it's gonna be. Poor people who don't have the money to control things like this would just be, you know, very upset at their, you know, child who did the murder. Ugh. You can't blame others for your kid doing a kill. Like, that's it. So we're gonna finger the boy next time. So that right there is the game for now. I had fun, a bit from watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.